Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CCRL Pro Tier. Tonight they will be taking on the 14-corner, 4.65, 7-kilometer circuit with 2 DRS zones at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya in Spain. I am the Johnny Damon. I will be commentating tonight as we have a small grid. I am currently going to pull up the driver standings right now. At the top of the standings, we do have LB the GOAT and the official Silos both tied for the lead in points with 182 points. Feeney in third with 154. Comacopa in fourth with 147. Right behind him in fifth place is Raptor KK with 139 points. Peak Hour in sixth with 123. Banya in seventh with 117. Mr. Miller 8th with 88 points. Osmanian Devil in ninth with 83. Like Me or Not in 10th with 79 points. The Boonster with 74 points in 11th. Natural with 60 points in 12th. SP Jabur in 13th with 46 points. Matthew 10 in 14th with 44 points. LK in 15th with 39 points. Arf with 31 points in 16th, TMM Racing in 17th with 30. Cello in 18th with 29 points. IRZ with 29 points in 19. And GC Adventure will round out your field of 20 with 19 points. In regards to the team standings, we do have Haas leading the points in team standings with 277 points. Red Bull in second with 213. Mercedes in third with 211. McLaren in fourth with 200. Aston Martin in fifth with 176. The Racing Bulls in sixth with 158. Kick Sauber with 153 in 7th, Alpine in 8th with 148, Williams in 9th with 90 points, and Ferrari will round out the grid with 69 points. Just be a few more moments. We are currently working on trying to get one more driver in here, and then we will be getting ready to go. Alright, we are loading into qualifying right now. It's going to be about 18-minute qualifying session with a 33-lap Grand Prix around Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Let's see what the weather is going to be. Will be a potential chance for some rain, and we are loading in now. And it looks like we do have wet weather here during the qualifying session. The rain is coming down hard, so there will be a chance we will see some wet tires on the circuit. Looks like VPR Chef is going to be our first driver on the circuit as he's rounding Renault. Making his way into Seat Corner, the hairpin of turn 4. Going to carry him down the hill heading towards Worth Corner and back up into the first DRS zone, the flat out right-hander in the dry, but there will be no DRS here as we are in qualifying. Making his way through Campsa and now down the long back stretch here towards La Caya of turn, I want to say 11. And down in toward turn 1 we go, all the way down into third gear. Now back up through the gears here through turn 2. And then making his way around Renault here. Very easy to lose the car, especially in the wet, as he makes his way towards Repsol. 27 flat through sector 1 at this time being. That is the fastest, but he is the first car to be on a lap. Now into Seat Corner, down into first gear through Seat Corner, and goes a little deep there. Up through the gears, down the hill, into Worth Corner. Now going to take him back up the hill. He gets a little loose there through Worth. And then into Campsa and down the long back stretch as he's making his way towards La Caya. Now gonna head around Bonk Sabadell. And then the final two corners here of Europe Car and New Holland. Off the exit of Europe Car, down the hill again, once again into New Holland, and back down the long start finish straight. He's going to come across the line with a provisional 133.249. The Boomster's currently making his way through Renault. On to Silos as he's off the exit of New Holland. Some traffic in front of him. Peak hour sets the fastest lap. Then Osmanian Devil, and now Silos with a 127.886. On board with Abdul as he's making his way down the start-finish straight into Elf Corner. And then through turn 2, he's going to be looking to go up the hill with some traffic in front of him. Off the exit of Renault we go. Down this little straight here, he gets really loose off the exit of Renault, down into turn 4 of Repsol. Making his way towards turn 6 of Seat Corner, or turn 5 of Seat Corner. Traffic pulls off to the outside. Let him through. Gonna head towards Worth. And then back up the hill once again. Into Campsa Corner, nearly flat out here, off the throttle, just lightly. Get back on at the apex, down the long backstretch here into turn 10 of Lakaya. Up through the gears into Bunk Sabadell we go, and then he's got the final 2 corners here. Gonna make his way into the penultimate corner of Europe car off the exit, now heading towards New Holland. And he's gonna be down in 5th gear, nearly full throttle all the way through New Holland, and he's gonna come across the line with a 129.5, and that's gonna jump him up into the P6 position. Mr. Miller's working his way towards the start-finish line here in the wet, and he's going to be P8 for the time being. Natural is now currently starting his first lap as he's making his way through Elf, and now turn 2. Into Renault we go, and it's going to carry him towards Repsol of turn 4. Going to try and keep this car under control. He's probably carrying a little bit more fuel than normally, as a dry qualifying is usually 1 to 2 laps, but during the wet, the more you wear those tires in, the faster you are going to get, especially with a dry line now coming out. The Boomster takes provisional pole with a 127.4. As we're making our way on board with Natural through Worth Corner, up the hill into Campsa of turn 9. Let the car carry as much momentum as possible. He gets back on the throttle, heading down the middle straight here towards Lakaya. Down into 3rd gear we go. Trying his hardest to keep this car under control from getting loose at all. Now into Bonk Sabadell. Off the exit and into the penultimate corner of Europe car, and he's got New Holland in front. You can see those with another provisional pole of a 126.5, and Natural's going to come across the line in that P10 position with a 130.69. On board with Komakopa yet to set a lap here in the qualifying session, making his way through Lakaya. Now heading towards Bonk Sabadell, the final 2 corners here right in front of him. Up through the gears we go into Europe car. Now he's going to carry that momentum all the way through the outside into New Holland. He's got the start-finish line right in front of him. He's going to come across, and he goes into that P10 position with a 130.5. LB the GOAT is currently not on a lap, I don't think. Peak Hour appears to be on a lap, as no, he's not. SP Jabor making his way through Worth Corner and up the hill towards Campsa. Gonna let this car slide right through Campsa, now down the middle straight here into Lakaya we go. Heavy on the brakes all the way down into 2nd gear through Lakaya. He's a half a second up on his time. We've got Bonk Sabadell nets right in front of him through turn 12. Into turn 13, and now we've got turn 14, and then the start-finish straight right in front of him. Off the exit, he's going to burn as much battery as he can as he's making his run towards the line. He improved 0.7 of a second, and he goes up into that P3 position. Peak Hour lost the car off the exit of New Holland, and he's going to be sitting in that P5 position with the DNF here of the qualifying session. LB the GOAT looks like he's making his run through Worth Corner, but he's currently not on a lap. Osmanian Devil is on a lap through Worth Corner and up the hill. Comacopa jumps up into that P6 position with a 128.7. And now we're going to head down this middle straight on board with Comacopa as he's making his run into turn 11 of Lakaya. He's coming off the exit, heading into turn 12. Bonk Sabadell we go. Going to try and make a run towards the start-finish line here off the exit through Europe car. There is that dry line form now through New Holland off the exit, keeping that car barely under control here as he comes across the start-finish line, and he's going to put himself onto that second row with a 127.7. So 3.5 tenths off the back, or 2.5 tenths off the back of the Boonsta. Abdul's currently working on an outlap. Natural is on another flyer here in the qualifying session as he is making his run into Lakaya of turn 11. He is 1.2 seconds up on his time. That is good enough to jump him up the board to potentially inside the top 8. But he needs some more time here as he's making his way into Europe car of turn 13. He's got one more final corner in front of him. He's burning the rest of the battery off the exit of New Holland, keeps the car within the track limits, and comes across 2 seconds quicker up into that P6 position. Comacopa is now going to be starting another lap, it appears, as he's making a run down into Elf Corner of turn 1. Abdul is currently on a lap heading through Repsol. He is 3 tenths up on his time for the time being. Now he's got one more corner of Seat Corner right in front of him here before he heads back down the hill towards Worth Corner. He's done one qualifying lap on these tires into Worth. He goes a little wide there into the braking zone. That is going to put some grass on those tires. Not enough grip to really get through Worth Corner, but off the exit of Campsa. And he's heading down the middle straight here. Let's see what he is looking at. Across the Sector 2 split, he's only up a tenth on his time into turn 11. Now heading towards turn 12 of Bonk Sabadell. And he's got Europe car 8 in front of him. Into the penultimate corner we go. And off the exit heading into the final corner of New Holland, as he's going to maintain that car under control across the start-finish line. He gained 6 tenths of a second, and he's still sitting in that P9 position, nearly 3 tenths ahead of Mr. Miller. VPR Chef out here on a lap. Into Worth Corner we go. Back up the hill towards Campsa. See who's going to be the next one coming across the line. SP is making his way through Worth Corner now. Comacopa is currently working his run through Elf, but he is sitting in that P5 position. Abdul here in the middle of Seat Corner. And we got Mr. Miller making his run through Renault now. VPR Chef heading into the final corner of New Holland. Off the exit, burning as much battery as he can, heading towards the line. Did not improve on a time that time through. SP into the final corner of New Holland. Off the exit, and he's going to come across the line. Does he improve? He improves a half a second. Puts himself into that second row currently. Sitting right behind the Boonster, less than a tenth back with LB the GOAT. Only 32 thousandths of a second off of him. Osmanian Devil back out for another qualifying lap, and it looks like Abdul may have lost the car off the exit of New Holland and has put it into the inside wall. So he will be DNF here from the qualifying session in hopes he doesn't lose any more time to the drivers behind him. On board with Mr. Miller heading into New Holland. He's going to be coming off the exit, heading towards the start-finish line. And he's going to come across with 1.6 seconds improvement into P7 right in front of his teammate of the Alpine, of the natural there. Is SP currently on a flyer here? We will find out through the Sector 2 split. Is he up on the time? No, he's not. He's currently not up on his time. Silo's entering Lakaya of turn 11 now. Okay, unfortunately invalidated. VPR Chef gained 0.3 of a second on his time into the 129 now for him. Tasmanian Devil made his way through Elf Corner now, turn 2. On board with Silos here as he's running down into Elf Corner, heavy on the brakes all the way down through into third gear. Now through turn 2, he's got Renault right in front of him up turn 3. The car's sliding a little bit there. He's able to keep it under control here as he's making his way towards Repsol. He's 55 thousandths up on his time into the entrance of Repsol. Still holding on to that wheel as much as he can as he makes his way into Seat Corner. Off the exit of Seat in second gear, heading down the hill through turn 5 into turn 6 into Worth Corner. Now up the hill, heading into turn 9. I believe I got that right, of Campsa. Making his way towards Lakaya. At the end of the straight, he's 0.2 up on his time for the time being. Now through Bonk Sabadell, heading towards the final penultimate corner of Europe Car. Off the exit we go towards New Holland, the final corner here of the qualifying for his lap. On the throttle, and he's going to come across the line, improves 0.3 of a second, even more on the pole. He's got a full second separating the Tasmanian Devil. SP has lost his car somewhere. I'm not exactly sure if he may have just retired in pit lane. Final drivers are out here on circuit. LB the GOAT, he's not up on his time through sector 1. Tasmanian Devil making his way through Seat Corner, back down the hill. Into Worth Corner we go. Now up into turn 9 of Campsa. Off the exit, keeps the car well under control here, heading towards the second sector mark. He's definitely not up on that time. 0.7 back for the time being. LB the GOAT with 0.3 down. Is he improving? He is not. Comacopa is currently on another lap. Mr. Miller just started his final qualifying lap. Natural 0.9 up on his time through sector 2. Making a run through turn 11 now into turn 12 of Bonk Sabadell. Got 2 more corners in front of him for the end of his qualifying session off the exit of Europe Car. Heading into the final corner of New Holland. And let's see how he's looking here on this lap. Coming to the start-finish line. Does he improve? 0.7 of improvement, but not enough to jump him up the leaderboard. Comacopa making his way through Bonk Sabadell here at the time being. Now through Europe Car. Gonna maintain that car under control into New Holland. Off the exit. Does he improve at all on this lap? It doesn't appear to be so. And that will be the end of his qualifying session. Mr. Miller making his way through sector 2 now. He is a full second up on the time. Looking for a big jump here up the leaderboard. Maybe potential for the second row as he's running through Bonk Sabadell. He's got Europe Car right in front of him. Is that LK right behind him? Yes it is, but LK is unfortunately invalidated. Through New Holland, off the exit we go, burning the rest of the battery as he heads towards the start-finish line. And he improves 1.4 seconds. Good enough for the front row. Right next to Silos. So there you have it, folks. That is your qualifying session. We got Silos on pole. Mr. Miller in second. Tasmanian Devil third. DeBoonster fourth. SP 5th, LB the Goat 6th, Natural 7th, Comacopa 8th, Peak Hour 9th, Abdul in 10th, VPR Chef 11th, TMM in 12th, and LK will round out your field of 13 drivers tonight here at Barcelona-Catalunya in Spain. One more time, Silos, Mr. Miller, Osmanian Devil, Boonster, and Jabor, top 5. That'll be the Goat Natural, Peak Hour, or Comacopa, Peak Hour, and Abdul is your top 10. VPR, TMM, and LK will be your field of 13. And once we get rolling, it looks like a dry start here. We will be seeing the compounds of the C1, C2, and the C3 tire here on the grid. Everybody is currently working on getting their tire strategy into place along with their fuel. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We are going to be getting green here in about 20 seconds or so. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and the lights are out, and away we go. And it looks like Silos off to a great jump. Tasmanian Devil, Mr. Miller struggling on the start. They lost a lot of positions as they're making their way down into Elf Corner, nearly 3 wide. And it looks like the Booster is going to jump into that P5 position, already about to mount an attack on Comacopa right in front of him, as they're now making their way into Repsol here of turn 4. And heading towards Seat Corner, the heaviest braking zone here on the circuit of turn 5. Off the hairpin we go. We got some side-by-side. It looks like Abdul goes a little wide. Teammates Abdul and LB the Goat swap position. LK now looking to mount an attack here as they make their way through Worth Corner up into Campsa. And it looks like Tasmanian Devil's looking to put the pressure on the inside of Silos. A little bit of contact there. And Tasmanian Devil's going to jump into the lead here through Bonk Sabadell of turn 12. Silos isn't looking to give up on this fight early yet, as now we're making our way into New Holland. The final corner, SP is mounting an attack on the back of Silos here to complete lap 1. And everybody has made it through so far here at the start of the Grand Prix. Into Elf Corner we go. And everybody's just going to continue to follow along. DRS has been activated. We got a train all the way down into that P11 position of the DRS. And now through Repsol we go. Heading into Seat Corner. Off the exit, and it looks like the Booster down to the inside of Comacopa into Worth Corner. He decided to wisely choose to back out. Pull up the tire compound here. Everybody on mediums all the way down to peak hour in that P8 position. Then you got LB the Go, Abdul on soft, medium for LK, soft for the back of the grid. Comacopa already up 4 positions. Mr. Miller has dropped 5 here on the start. DRS is activated, so we're going to head down the start-finish straight. Tasmanian Devil pulls to the inside to break that slipstream. Comacopa is now looking to mount an attack. Silos goes around the outside. Tasmanian Devil's going to fall right behind him into that P2 position. And he's going to mount an attack now, trying to fight back here as we're making our way off the exit of Renault. Here goes Tasmanian Devil down through the inside into Repsol. Nearly contact, a little bit of contact there with the right rear tire of Silos. And here comes the Booster looking around the outside of Comacopa into Seat Corner. And he goes a little wide there, not able to take that position away. Natural fighting with his teammate Mr. Miller as they're making their way through Worth, up the hill heading towards Campsa. And it looks like Natural is going to be in front for the time being. I'll be the Goat, nearly a second off, trying to keep within this DRS train in front. Mr. Miller around the outside, or down on the inside of his teammate here. The Alpines are really fighting hard to open up for the first 3 laps of this Grand Prix. And it looks like VPR Chef might have made a mistake in the back. The Booster mountain attack on Comacopa. But here comes Tasmanian Devil now with the DRS. Is he going to fight down to the inside of Silos? And through the inside he goes to regain the lead here on lap 4 of the Spanish Grand Prix. SP just chilling right behind them in that P3 position as they're making their way into Repsol Corner of turn 4. LK with a 3-second time penalty. Side by side, but once again here with the Alpine of Natural and Peak Hour around the outside of Seat. Is he going to take that position away? He jumped into the P7 spot. Just hanging on to the DRS for the time being as they make their way through Worth Corner. And here comes the Booster on Comacopa into the braking zone before Lakaya of turn 10. through 11, and now up Bonk Sabadell of turn 12, heading towards the penultimate corner of Europe car. Silos 3/10 off the back of Osmanian Devil through New Holland. Back down the start-finish straight. And DRS flap wide open for Silos. Is he going to be looking to overtake once again down into turn 1? And yes, he gets that overtake into Elf. This swapping of positions between the two drivers is helping to keep SP Jabor behind at bay for the time being in that P3 position. But SP's now looking down potentially to the inside of Repsol corner, but he's going to back out. And the rain is falling here on lap 5. So this is going to put a real big damper into the race results here as we got some rain falling on lap 5 here in Spain. Through Worth corner, up the hill once again into Campsa of turn 9. The booster is all over that rear diffuser once again on Copa, sitting nearly 2/10 back, heading into turn 10 of Lakaya. The question is the rain falling enough for these drivers to start looking at making pit stops? Who's going to be the first one to dive into pit lane and put on a set of intermediate tires? And your top 3 are all going to stay out. Top 5, 6, 7 cars. Actually, the whole field is staying out for the time being. And Osmanian Devil mounts an attack. SP is going to look down the inside of Silos. And Silos is going to lose 2 positions into Elf corner. Peak Hour and Natural are going to swap positions once again. Silos now down into the P3 position. The Boonster fighting alongside. It looked like Copa may have gone a little deep. That allowed Mr. Miller and the Boonster through. LK is going to make a move on Abdul here into Repsol around the outside. And he jumps himself inside the top 10. Up the hill into Campsa we go one more time. The track doesn't appear to be too wet yet. We might get another lap here on these slick tires. Making our way through Bonk Sabadell of turn 12. Now into turn 13, back down the hill. Anybody going to dive into pit lane this time through? Nobody wants to go in yet. Going to stay out on the slick tires as it appears to potentially be the move for the time being. SP using the DRS to keep Silos behind him, as well as the Boonster right behind him as well. Batteries relatively even through your top 4 or 5 cars. Copa 2 seconds off the back of that train, but he's got another train right behind him here as we're making our way through Renault, heading towards Repsol corner of turn 4. Now we got seat corner right in front. Nobody's looking to make that move quite yet. Mr. Miller's falling out of about 1 second range to the top 4 in front of him. Up the hill through Worth into Campsa. And now down the middle backstretch here, heading towards Lakaya. The Boonster is pulled right up to the rear diffuser of Copa. None of these guys are looking to make a move using the DRS that's still activated for the time being. But the rain seems to be coming down a little bit harder now. Off the exit of Europe car, BPR Chef with another mistake at the back of the grid. Looking to get that car back underway. And everybody is appearing to stay out for another lap here. Down into Elf corner, SP's not going to be close enough to make that move. Copa going defensive on peak hour here. The top 4 have opened up a gap of 2 seconds over Mr. Miller. Track doesn't look like it's wet enough. BPR Chef is going to dive into pit lane. And it looks like the track actually might be getting a little bit more slick now as the rain is bringing up slippery tire rubber and some oil that is on the circuit as we're now making our way through Bonk Sabadell heading towards Europe car. BPR Chef is going to retire in the pit lane. Off the exit of New Holland once again. Everybody's staying out of pit lane. Down heading towards Elf Corner. Is SP going to pull up to the back of... Yes, he is. Goes to the inside into the braking zone for Elf. Side by side between him and Osmanian Devil. Looking for a potential switchback, and here comes Silos down looking into the inside. Off the exit of Renault. Still side by side. In contact made between Osmanian Devil and SP. Into Repsol we go, but SP is going to be able to keep the car under control as Silos is looking to top that as well. Off the exit of C, is Silos going to be alongside? No, he's not. Into the braking zone of Worth. Mr. Miller's finally catching up to the back of him just outside the 1 second, so he's not going to get DRS heading towards turn 10 of Lakaya. Through turn 10 we go. We got still the top four all within a second of each other. Now into Bonk Sabadell. And that's going to be another lap of the leaders staying out here on the circuit. Komakopa dives into pit lane. He's going to be the first one to be looking to get off the medium tires. Is that too early? Or is he right on time? As we got the Haas of Peak Hour looking to make a move on LB the Goat, but he's not going to attempt that move there. They make their way through seat down into Worth. TMM with a 3-second time penalty. Track is getting a little slippery here. Is this undercut perfect for Komakopa? And SP gets a little loose off of Bonk Sabadell, trying to get that car back under control. And it looks like Osmanian Devil's going to stay out. So isn't Silos and Boomster. SP also wants to stay out here. DRS is still activated. Okay, with another 3-second time penalty. Natural gets loose off the exit of the final corner. And that's going to allow LB the Goat to pounce on him and just overtake. And it looks like the Haas of Peak Hour down through the inside as well into Elf Corner. The track is definitely starting to get slippery now. In through Repsol we go. On lap 11 of 33. Not sure what happened. Osmanian Devil looks like he got loose off of Worth Corner. Now he's loose off of Campsa. And he's under attack. 3 abreast going into turn 10 of Lakaya. And it looks like Silos and Osmanian Devil still side by side. And now it's going to be DeBoonster and Osmanian Devil side by side into turn 12 of Bonk Sabadell. And it looks like Osmanian Devil's going to hang on to that P2 position. He did lose out on the lead. And another lap. We're going to stay out here for our race leaders. Komakopa is gaining up to LK here. 17 seconds back now. Osmanian Devil back on the attack on Silos and regains that position. And here comes the booster. The track is definitely wet now. They're going to have to start looking at potentially diving in. LB the GOAT goes into pit lane to get off his tires. His slicks of, I believe, hard tires there. As we're now making our way into Repsol we go with your top three. And SP is trying to catch up to the back of him, 1.9 seconds back. Through seat corner we go. Comacopa is going to be able to undercut and come out in front. But Osmanian Devils losing the position once again. Side by side up the hill. Oh, and there goes Osmanian Devil. He goes into the inside wall. Back down into that P4 position. Looks like he still has his front wing though. Peak Hour is now looking to try and close up to the back of him. Within that 1 second. No DRS though. Through Bonk Sabadell, the Boomster is looking to attack, but they are starting to get really slippery out here in Spain off the exit, and there goes your leaders all diving into pit lane. Osmanian Devil dives into pit lane. Peak Hour is going to stay out on the hard tires for another lap here. See if this will pay off for him. Natural retires from the session, and that is going to bring out a safety car. Is this going to be a free stop for Peak Hour? That might have been his best decision he made. Not exactly sure what happened to Natural. Let's jump on board here. See if we can figure out. And LB the GOAT stays out. Comacopa was on wet tires. He's going to dive in to look to jump onto a set of intermediates. So we are under a safety car here on lap 13. The wet weather has come out and it has been bringing in some crazy racing, but now we're just waiting. Peak Hour is in a perfect position to jump into pit lane and get off the set of hard tires onto a set of intermediates here on lap 13. And where does Peak Hour come out amidst all of this safety car? He is not going to come out in front of the leaders. He is going to come out in that P5 position. We do have a safety car here on lap 14. Got one more lap, potentially under safety car. Just one moment. Alright, it looks like we will potentially be going back to green flag here, as we're making our way off of the exit of Kamsa. And we are just waiting on to Silos here to lead us back to green flag as he's making his way off the exit of Europe car. Now he's got New Holland right in front of him, backing up the field. Is he going to catch the Boonster off guard? And yes, he does. Silos is back under green flag, and he opens up a full second already under green here, as now the Boonster is looking to be under attack from SP. SP was trying to figure out which way the Boonster was going to go, and he's going to fall right back behind him. Komakopa down to the inside of Elf Corner on LK. Fortunately, not going to be able to overtake him there. Side by side between Abdul and TMM, and it looks like Abdul is going to come out in front. And down the hill into Worth Corner we go. Silos a full second ahead. And he's starting to pull a gap. The Boonster and SP and Osmanian Devil side by side off the exit of Kamsa. And it looks like Osmanian Devil's going to be stuck around the outside of turn 10. Is he going to be able to complete the overtake? SP's going to hang on nice and tough through the inside. He gives Osmanian Devil the inside of Bonk Sabadell of turn 12. And off the exit towards Europe car, and they have lost a lot of ground to the Boonster in front. Nearly 2.5 seconds in that opening lap here since we've been back to green flag. And it looks like Osmanian Devil's gonna jump into that P3 position. Question is SP gonna be looking for a move down the inside? No, he's not. He's gonna fall back and still stay in that P4 position behind Osmanian Devil. The Boonster's looking to try and close up to Silos in front of him. They're making their way around Repsol Corner. Osmanian Devil's got the train of cars right behind him. In through seat we go. The Boonster's closed up within a second. Now into Worth, looking to go back up the hill towards Kamsa and then down the back stretch here toward turn 10. Peak hour all over that rear diffuser of SP here. They make their way down the back stretch. We are halfway through the Grand Prix. Down into Elf Corner we go. SP trying to get back within the second. There is no DRS here in the wet weather. They are on intermediate tires, wondering if it is too wet for them. I'm not really seeing much of a dry line forming here. The Boonster catches back up to Silos through Sector 1, but it seems to be he loses them from campus on, but now he's hanging on to that 1 second, and now he's 8/10 behind, so the Boonster is putting in the work, trying to chase down Silos in front of him. off the exit of Lakaya of turn 10, now through 11 into turn 12 of Bank Sabadell. Komakopa does complete a move on LK here into that P8 position. 3-second gap to the Boonster in front from Osmanian Devil. As they're making their way around the final corner here, the Boonster's still all over within a second of Silos in front. He's down to 7/10 now into the braking zone of Elf Corner, turn 1. As they're going to be looking their way up the hill through Renault now, up turn 3. Got almost a 5-car train going on from Osmanian Devil down to LB the Goat in P6. The Boonster's still hanging on to the back of Silos, maintaining that 1-second gap. So a small mistake from Silos will allow the Boonster to pounce. As we're coming across the line to begin lap 20. No DRS, so it's going to be extremely hard to pass here at Spain. If it stays this way, Silos will take the sole possession of first place in the standings. The Boonsters trying to mount another charge here as they're working their way through Seat Corner and down the hill towards Worth. Tri-line forming a little bit now, as we can see. Through Bank Sabadell one more time. Got about 13 laps to go and across the line here. Osmanian Devil has opened up a 1-second gap to SP. Mr. Miller with a 3-second time penalty. SP does want to try and end up on the podium. He's still within a second of Osmanian Devil. Into turn 10 of Lakaya. Peak hour within 6/10 of SP in front of him here. 12 laps to go this time through. Peak Hour has pulled right up to that rear diffuser of SP here as we're making our way through Worth Corner and back up the hill towards Campsa. Is Peak Hour going to mount an attack here down this middle straight? Burning a little bit of ERS to keep that gap within a half a second. Abdul with a 3-second time penalty. Peak Hour closed up within a half a second, still not enough to challenge SP for that P4 position. The two leaders have opened up a 5.3 second gap over Osmanian Devil in P3. Komakopa looks like he is going to overtake Mr. Miller. A slight mistake from Mr. Miller has dropped him down into that P8 position. Komakopa up into P7, right behind LB the GOAT. Peak Hour all over the rear diffuser. Off of New Holland we go. Is he going to be able to make a move down into Elf? He is burning that ERS under 50% now. Not going to be close enough to attempt to move down the inside of turn 1. As they make their way off of Renault, and it looks like SP goes defensive on Peak Hour. Peak Hour gets into the back of him slightly there through Repsol. And it looks like Peak Hour is missing a left front end plate. Not sure if that is from the potential contact made to SP or if that was from something else. Still under 2 seconds back from Silos to the booster here as we're making our way down the start-finish line to start lap 25. So almost done here. We're about 3/4 of the way through the Grand Prix here in Spain. Nearly 7 seconds back to Osmanian Devil. SP gonna defend off of Peak Hour down into turn 1. LB the GOAT just kind of hanging out right behind him in that P6 position, 1.2 seconds back. As the Boomster trying to mount an attack on Silos once again here, heading through Worth Corner up the hill towards Campsa. Off the exit of Campsa, Peak Hour within 0.4 of a second to SP in front. LB the GOAT has kind of jumped into the picture just above a second. Now he's under a full second to the two cars in front of him of Peak Hour and SP. Peak Hour is gonna stay out of the slipstream of SP in front of him. Lap 26 of 33. Still missing that left end plate there on the Haas, but he is doing pretty well here in the wet, on a wet surface with no full wing. Now LB the GOAT is within 9/10 of a second. Goes a little wide there off the exit of Repsol. Into seat corner we go. LB the GOAT with a 3-second time penalty. The Boonster still trying to put that pressure on Silos in front of him. And Osmanian Devil gets a little loose there off the exit of Bonk Sabadell. That's going to allow SP to close right up to the back of him. Down to 1.1 seconds now separating the two. It was about 1.8. And there goes Osmanian Devil. Is he going to have damage? And he's going to crash into the inside wall here. And that is going to bring out a safety car on lap 26. Osmanian Devil was trying to correct the car and unfortunately lost it down into the inside wall of the start-finish straight on lap 26 of 33. That is going to close up the field once again. And Silos with a drive-through penalty here under the safety car. And now that's going to allow the Booster to reclaim the lead. Some chaos happening within the last 5 to 6 laps here at Spain. And we are under a safety car. A lot of chaos happened on lap 27. As it appears, Osmanian Devil lost the car off the exit of New Holland. and went to the inside wall. And then right after that, your race leader of Silos got a drive-through penalty. So your field got shuffled up a little bit. The Boomster's now your race leader. SP in P2 with Peak Hour in third. LB the Goat fourth. Silos in fifth. Comacopa in sixth. Okay, seventh. Miss Miller eighth. TMM in ninth. And you got a drive-through for Silos and TMM. Looks like we're going to be potentially doing another lap here under the safety car here. We should be going back to green with about 3 laps to go. None of the leaders boxed except for the Mercedes of Silos. Everybody else is going to stay on the intermediate tires they've been running from, I believe, lap 13 or 14 here. And we get the message from the race control that safety car will be in. And the Boomster's gonna back up the field. Heading towards the penultimate corner of Europe car, and then we will get back to green flag on the Boomster's mark. Safety car in the pit lane. It's all up to the Boomster when he wants to start this race back up. Heading into New Holland we go. And he's gonna put the pedal to the metal right about now, and off to the races we go one more time here at Spain. Coming across the line with 3 laps to go, and the Boomster's gonna lead us down into turn 1 of Elf. LB the Goat side by side with Peak Hour. Is he gonna be able to overtake him into Elf corner? Down through the inside, still side by side through turn 2. Off into Renault we go, turn 3. Silos stuck right behind him, trying to figure out a way to get by. Are we going to go 3 abreast into Repsol? No, but Silos is looking to make a move on the inside of LB the Goat here. The Mercedes is going to get through. and up into that P4 position, and Comacopa follows right behind, but LB the Goat is going to battle down around the outside of Repsol, now through the inside of Seat Corner, and he's going to maintain that P5 position. Silos is all over that rear diffuser of Peak Hour. He does have a drive-through penalty, and he is going to try and make a move here off the exit of Campsa. Down the middle backstretch, heading in toward turn 10. And it looks like the Booster and SP will be battling for the win here at Spain as we're making our way around through turn 11 into Bonk Sabadell of turn 12. Will Silos dive into pit lane to serve this drive-through penalty under the green flag? He is going to stay out one more time. Off the exit of New Holland we go, down the start, finish straight to start the penultimate lap. LB the Goat all over the rear diffuser of Silos, peek to the inside of Elf Corner, and you gotta wisely choose to back out and stay behind. Comacopa in that P6 position, fighting with Mr. Miller as well. Peak Hour 8/10 off the back of SP. And further down, Mr. Miller was attempting to make a move on Comacopa into Repsol Corner, but he decides not to go for that move. Through Seat, and now we're heading down the hill towards Worth Corner. Okay, with a 3-second time penalty, that's another one for him. I believe he's up to 9 seconds now. Off the exit of Campsa, the Booster has a 1.5 second lead out front in the Kickstart Sauber. And here goes the Haas peeking down potentially to the inside of Lakaya. He's not going to go for that move. Door's going to be closed by the Haas driver in front. Off the exit of Europe car, now heading towards New Holland. Starting the final lap here at Spain. Silos just got disqualified from the session. He ignored his drive-through penalty. Very unfortunate for him. SP out to a 2.3 seconds out front. And we got side-by-side action going between the Alpine and Comacopa and the Aston Martin here as they're making their way through Repsol, now heading into Seat Corner. Does the Alpine make a move on the Aston Martin here on the final lap? Is SP going to be able to hold off Peak Hour heading towards Campsa? The Booster had checked out front, 2.3 second gap here in that Green Goblin Kickstart Sauber. And it looks like Comacopa was looking for a move on the inside of LB the Goat. Off the exit of the final corner, we're heading for the Booster as he's coming towards the start-finish line, and he's going to win here in Barcelona. And SP comes in P2 with Peak Hour in third, Comacopa in fourth, LB the Goat in fifth, and Mr. Miller will finish in sixth. Abdul comes across in seventh, and TMM gonna finish inside the top 8. The Booster at the top here with SP in that P2 position. Peak Hour in third, Comacopa fourth, LB the Goat fifth, Mr. Miller sixth, Abdul in seventh, TMM eighth, LK in ninth, Osmanian Devil in 10th, 11th is Natural, VPR in 12th, and Celos will round out your field of 13. Tune in on Wednesday, August 7th, under MMR_hotspot on YouTube, as he will be taking on at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, as your elite tier will be taking on the Barcelona-Catalunya circuit. And then next, got 3 races to go here. Next week, for the Pro Tier Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, you have another classic format short qualifying 50% Grand Prix at the Netherlands in Zandvoort. In the meantime, I am the Johnny Damon. I hope you all have a fantastic night and a great rest of your week. Take it easy.